Hello and welcome, my dear friend. I'm sure you already know there is nothing accidental in this universe. If you're here, it's because you are meant to be here. What you are about to hear speaks to something already alive within you. A kind of intelligence that does not come from books, titles, or classrooms. It's older than your resume, deeper than memorized facts, and quieter than the noise of the world. The Bible says in James chapter 1 verse 5, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him." And that wisdom has been given to you by God himself. This is not just any intelligence, it's a gift that goes far beyond ordinary knowledge or academic skills. It's a kind of genius, a unique spiritual insight that God has placed within you, and it's meant to guide you toward fulfilling your higher purpose. This intelligence doesn't shout, it doesn't compete for attention. It shows up as discernment, as an inner knowing, as clarity that arrives without explanation. And I know your soul feels these words. Say this with me, out loud if you can. God walks with me. Write it in the comments as well. God walks with me. Because you are standing on the brink of transformation, and this moment holds keys you didn't even know you were searching for. This is the nature of your genius, and why it often makes others uncomfortable. You've probably felt this intelligence within you for as long as you can remember. Maybe you noticed it early, how you understood situations before anyone explained them, how you sensed motives, patterns, or outcomes before others caught on, how certain things never quite fooled you, even when everyone else seemed convinced. This isn't about academic intelligence or knowing a lot of facts and figures. No, what you possess is far deeper. It's a kind of divine wisdom that allows you to see things from a higher perspective, as if you're observing the situation from above rather than being trapped inside it. This is spiritual clarity, a gift that gives you insight others may not even realize exists. And that clarity sets you apart, sometimes quietly, sometimes uncomfortably. You may have shared ideas or observations that were dismissed, ignored, or even ridiculed. Not because they were wrong, but because they arrived too early, because they disrupted comfort, because they exposed something others weren't ready to face. But know this, your genius is not something to hide or downplay. God didn't place this gift within you so that it could be buried. This divine intelligence within you shines a light on truths that some people would rather keep in the dark. Imagine holding a lantern in a pitch-black room. For someone who has learned to navigate by darkness, that light can feel offensive. It forces them to confront corners they've avoided, beliefs they've never questioned, and limits they've grown comfortable with. When faced with that kind of light, many react with fear, discomfort, or even hostility. And that's because what people don't understand, they often fear. But here is what you must remember. Their reactions have nothing to do with your worth. They are not rejecting you. They are reacting to what your wisdom reflects back to them. Do not let their discomfort convince you to doubt yourself. Your intelligence is not something to be dimmed simply because it challenges others. My dear friend, this is the moment where many gifted people begin to shrink. And it's also the moment where God invites you to do the opposite. It's time to embrace going solo and trust in God's plan. This path of genius and wisdom can feel lonely at times. When you see what others don't, isolation can creep in quietly. You may wonder why your perspectives aren't welcomed, or why your insights seem to land on deaf ears. But here is a comforting truth. God gave you this intelligence for a reason. You may not see the full picture yet, but as you continue to trust the process, everything you need to understand will come into focus. And please hear this clearly. You are never alone in this journey, even when it feels that way. Your perspective, your unique insights, and the way you process the world are all part of a larger divine plan. Yes, this journey may require walking a path of solitude for a season, but this solitude is not something bad that happened to you. It is a necessary part of your preparation. Solitude sharpens vision, It strengthens discernment. It refines wisdom. And if you feel misunderstood or isolated right now, understand this: that solitude is shaping you into a beacon of light, one that will guide others at exactly the right moment. With great wisdom comes great responsibility, and this is where discernment becomes essential. Your intelligence is not only about what you know, but about when and how you share it. Not every insight needs immediate expression. Not every truth needs an audience the moment it arrives. Think of a seed planted beneath the soil. If you dig it up every day to check whether it's growing, you will interrupt the very process that brings it to life. Some of your understanding is meant to stay hidden for a season, not because it lacks value, but because timing determines impact. Your intelligence is not meant to impress. It is meant to serve. That is why God also gave you intuition, the ability to sense when to speak and when to remain still. Silence, when guided by wisdom, is not fear, it is stewardship. You may notice that when you speak at the wrong moment, your words fall flat or are misunderstood. But when you speak at the right moment, the same words land with weight, clarity, and undeniable truth. That is divine timing at work. Never confuse restraint with suppression. You are not shrinking when you wait. You are aligning. And still, there will be moments when even your restraint does not protect you from misunderstanding. Carrying this gift can come with emotional challenges. It is not easy to be seen as too much, too intense, or too different, simply because of how deeply you perceive the world. At times, it may feel like you are translating a language no one else speaks. But one day, the right people will hear you clearly. They will recognize the familiarity of your voice. They will not ask you to explain yourself. They will understand you. Until then, you do not need to defend your intelligence or prove your worth. The only validation you need comes from God. He sees you. He knows the gift He placed within you, and He is the one guiding your path. The opinions of others, whether they recognize your genius or not, are irrelevant in the larger story of your calling. People are often uncomfortable with what they have not yet grown into. Trust in God's guidance, even when others fail to recognize your brilliance. Your intelligence was never meant to isolate you permanently. It was meant to prepare you. When you align your intelligence with God's will, you become a powerful force for good in this world. Not loud, not dominating, but steady. Your insights have the ability to bring healing, clarity, and understanding to those who are ready to receive them. This is how wisdom becomes medicine, not through force, but through presence, not through volume, but through truth delivered at the right time. As you step forward, prepare yourself spiritually. Spend time in prayer. Spend time in stillness. Allow God to refine not just what you know, but how you carry it. Ask Him to guide you in using your gifts wisely. Ask Him to sharpen your discernment. Ask Him to protect your heart from bitterness, pride, or exhaustion. Because this path requires both humility and courage. You are extraordinary in a world that often rewards sameness. You are not called to follow the same patterns, repeat the same thinking, or live the same small story as everyone else. As a chosen one, you are not meant to fit into the crowd. You are called to lead, sometimes quietly, sometimes visibly, but always with integrity. This calling does not place you above others. It places responsibility upon you. God has positioned you in this moment for a reason. There are conversations you will influence, decisions you will shape, lives you will impact, often without realizing it. And it's time to embrace your path with humility and confidence. As you continue to align with God's will, this intelligence will become a guiding force, illuminating not only your own path, but the paths of those who walk beside you. In time, your words, insights, and actions will resonate with those who are meant to hear them. These are the people who will walk with you, not because you convinced them, but because they recognize the divine intelligence within you. So as you move forward, trust in God's plan. Stay connected to Him, Stay grounded. Stay faithful to what you know is true. Dear chosen ones, embrace your brilliance fully. Trust in the gift God has placed within you. This intelligence, this divine wisdom, is not accidental. It is part of the design of your life. And as you continue to step into your calling, those who are meant to understand your light will come. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.